Let's keep looking at the way the gospel works in us. Paul says Christ must live in our hearts by faith. Now, if he does, then Paul says we are rooted and we're grounded in God's love. This is the very first thing Jesus does in us. He imparts Abba Father's love to us as his kids. Of course, we have to have Jesus in us for this to happen, and we also have to receive God's love. It can't be blocked by guilt, fear, law, or any feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness. Jesus even says Father loves us as much as he does him. Hey, that's a lot of love. This is like the parable of the sower, which Jesus says is the most important parable. Here the sower, God, plants his gospel seed into us. We just receive it. We let it take root in our heart. But Jesus does warn us that at least 3/4 of the people being offered the gospel don't receive it. They have clogged hearts that are hard, stony, and busy. Physical seeds must take root in the ground to grow, just like God's gospel seed must take root in us to grow. Then Paul says that if God plants his gospel truth in us, we'll know the breadth and the length and the depth and the height of his love for us. Now, this is a picture of being just totally absorbed or overflowing in God's love. As we saw last time, we're like a balloon filled up so full we're ready to pop. Then Paul shows us the rest is automatic. The gospel then causes good fruit, or good things, to come forth from us. He says it's the gospel that causes good things in our lives, including all the blessings and promises, the benefits, the prosperity, the health, the love for others, everything else that God has that's good is ours. When we are filled with God's love that isn't dependent on what we do, then all of life becomes impacted by the presence of God. We are told, out of the heart comes the issues of life. Paul says God's love just constrains us to want to be linked with God in everything we do. Now, this means God's love helps us keep us from doing bad, but also keeps us on the right track too. Thus, Paul says the gospel produces good fruit from us. Jesus says, my burden is easy, my burden is light. When we're yoked with Jesus in his gospel, everything becomes easier in life. Truly knowing and living and receiving God's love daily makes each day a love story adventure with our loving Abba Father.